Okay, guys, we're going to go ahead and get started. Thanks so much for hanging in there with us, and thank you, Tammy. I think Tammy saved the day out there. I think Brad had an emergency. I hope everything's okay with Brad. But Brad had an emergency. Tammy jumped on, and again, Tammy, thank you so much. Looks like you saved the day. Okay. So, how to capitalize on conference and developing winning habits. The thing about it is when we come back from conference, um, you know, it would be so much easier if we could stay in the atmosphere of the hotel. Like if we could stay around all of those people, if we could just live together. Like, let's just set up tents. Let's live together. We're all excited. We would all encourage each other to make phone calls. Couldn't you see it? I mean, we'd all get in little groups of 5 to 7, and we'd all call people, and it would be so much fun. We would cheer people when they booked an appointment, and when somebody was rude to them, it would be okay. Like, hey man, high five me, man, because that's just the way things go. Same way when we went on the road and went to people's houses. When we got to somebody's house and we went in and we helped them, we'd high five them. When we walked up and realized that we were at a no-show, man, it would be okay. Hey, give me a high five anyway. Because you're gonna get paid for that one too, right? We get paid for everything we do. Everything's cumulative, right? So the no-shows we get paid for, the no's we get paid for, the rude people we get paid for it all, man. And so it would be so much easier if we're able to stay in that atmosphere. But what happens is we all go home. And for some people, when they get home, it's like, well, there they are. You're the same person, except for you just went to an incredibly positive weekend with people that were like-minded, that were going somewhere in life, but now you're back in your old atmosphere, right? And it just kind of has the old you there. And so I just know this, it's powerful and it's real, and if somebody just told you, well, hey, just change and just, whatever. Well, I don't mean, if it's that easy, maybe I missed it. But what I know is that there's a very real force that would certainly serve to pull you right back into the same habits, into the same you were before you left to go to Orlando, right? So how do we maybe combat that? Well, there's things called success principles, and these success principles work. They're universal. If you want to become a football player and you're talented and all that, you can invoke success principles, and they're universal success principles. Use them to learn how to play the piano. Use them to be great at playing the piano. Use them at playing basketball. Use them at playing golf. Use them at soccer. Use them at academically. Use them in the military. If you engage in success principles, that's how you become successful. Okay, and again, they're universal. Well, one of the things that I wanted to talk about was goal setting. I just think it's important because when we were in Orlando, you can't tell me that you didn't have clarity. You can't tell me you didn't. I know you did. You were excited. You knew which direction you were moving in. You knew which direction you wanted to move in. You knew it was going to be worth it. You, in the back of your mind, you knew you would encounter challenges, but so what? Man, I'll get through them because, man, this is what I want to do. This is where I want to go. Okay. So what I want you to do, if you haven't done it already, please, okay, I'm getting ready to end this Zoom meeting. I'm not going to go long, but here's what I want you to do. I want you to write out some short-term goals, like what do you want to accomplish between now and the next 90 days? Like up to this weekend, were you out there writing 5 to 7 applications a week? Were you doing that? If no, and you're honest, if no, then is that your first goal? Like would you like to start writing 5 to 7 applications a week? Well, if that's part, don't let me set goals, but I'm just saying, if that's part of your goal, then that's great. So write that down. I write 5 to 7 applications every week. Now, under that, here's what I want you to do. I want you to, number one, I want you to list out why you want to write 5 to 7 applications a week, okay? And the more reasons you can list out for why you want to write 5 to 7 applications a week, the better, okay? Now what I want you to do is I want you to create a game plan. Okay, to write 5 to 7 applications a week, we know that we're going to need somewhere between 12 to 15 appointments a week. Would you agree with that? Okay, that's what I think. So you got to figure out, how am I going to book 12 to 15 appointments a week? Because I can't not book 12 or 15 appointments. I got to book my 12 to 15 appointments. So you got to figure out how to do that. Okay, now for those of you guys that financially you're able to work A-leads, well, then you're able to book your 12 to 15 appointments with a lot less work, more expense, but a lot less time involved than somebody that's got to book their 12 to 15 appointments with B and C leads. If you're booking your appointments with B and C leads, you better be prepared to stay your butt on the phone for hours. It certainly would not surprise me if you told me, well, John, it took me 8 hours on dialing on the telephone to book 15 appointments. Okay. And I'm not talking about sitting there staring at your phone for an hour and you counting. I'm talking about dialing the phone, like like 8 hours of that, and talking to people and getting no and getting hung up on. And either you book an appointment or you put them in your door knock, file, right? So 5 to 7 appointments or 5 to 7 applications a week. I just know this. I know there's not many people out there that writing 5 to 7 applications a week, it wouldn't totally change your life. So, but some of you guys out there, you may be going, well, John, I was already writing 5 to 7 applications a week. Man, I'm making $150, $200,000 a year of income. Man, I want to learn how to build my team. Okay, I want to go sales manager. I want to go district manager. I want to go regional manager by January conference. Okay, so if I want to go regional manager by January conference, that means I've got to do sales manager 3 times. Okay, sales managers, 3 writing agents with $12,000 in annualized premium. So how do I go sales manager? Well, we've got to find 3 people to write business. Well, how do we find 3 people to write business? Well, in my world, okay, I'm just going to tell you how I think, okay? In my world, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to hire somewhere around 12 to 15. I'm going to ICA about 12 to 15 people. Now, that may not be all in width, or it could be all in width. But I'm going to go out there and I'm going to hire a batch of 8 to 10 in width. I'm going to help them hire a few people the best I can on the ones that'll help let me in depth. I'm going to hire a few for them. And when I ICA, when I link into Equus somewhere around 12 to 15 people, I know that what I'm going to get out of that is 3 to 4 really good ones, okay? And those 3 to 4 really good ones, I'm going to build my first SM team with, my first sales manager team. And then you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go out there and do that all again. Now, I'm probably going to be working some depth in my first SM team, so it may not be as many people, but I'm going to go out there and I'm going to put another group of people in business, okay? And then I'm going to go out there and do that a 3rd time. And here's what's going to happen. After I do sales manager a 3rd time, I will have found me in width, I will have found me somewhere around 6, 7, 8 good, really good people. And if I've been working depth along the way, I'm going to find me probably another 6 to 8 people in depth that's really good. And so when I qualify regional manager, I'm not just going to be qualifying regional manager by the skin of my teeth with 10 writing agents. I'm probably going to qualify regional manager. If I've gone out there and gone sales manager 3 times, and I've built any depth at all, and I have anybody duplicating me, which you know you will, okay, then when I go regional manager, I'm actually going to qualify regional manager with, 13, 14, 15 writing agents. So I hope that makes some sense to you. But the thing that's on my heart tonight is just to make sure that you know that these next 48 hours, the 48 hours after you get home, man, it's vital. It's so important. I mean, it's like I can't tell you how important it is. If you don't sit down with a white sheet of paper, and if you don't write out your goals, and you don't commit to writing out your goals every day, you've missed it. I'm not saying that you're not going to remember conference. I'm not saying that you're not going to make some little changes here and there, but ultimately, you're not going to make any changes. Ultimately, you're going to be the same person. You're just going to be the same person with a positive experience called Orlando. And I don't know, maybe you'll hang on and maybe you'll go to a second conference. Maybe you do. Maybe you make the same mistakes, but maybe you hang on and go to a third conference. See, I think that I was the person that hung on, and I actually went to about a million conferences, okay, before I got it. So what I want to stress to you guys tonight is that you don't need to go to a million conferences to get it. What I want you to do is I want you to have gotten it at this conference. So when you hang up from the Zoom in about 2 seconds, I want you to get a white sheet of paper out, and I want you to write down what you feel like in your heart. What's the thing that you need to accomplish first? I don't want you thinking about goals 10 years in the future right now. I'm not saying they're not important. I'm just saying I want you thinking about the short-term goals that you need to put action behind over the next 90 days, 120 days. I want you to be thinking like that. And then I want you to commit to writing those down every single day. Write them down in your activity tracker. Write them down on, a McDonald's napkin. I could care less. But get in the habit of writing out your goals on a daily basis and take dominion over your life. Change your life. Okay? You're way too important. Change your life. So I'm going to see if there are any questions really quick. Let's see here. Okay. Doesn't look like there's any questions. So I hope that makes some sense. I look forward to seeing you guys on the 10 o'clock call tomorrow morning, our leaders call. It's going to be awesome. So kick some butt. Thank you, Kevin Hopkins. Love you guys. Have a great night. Bye-bye.